Great morning, great morning, great morning. It's Monday, you guys. We are here for another Monday, and this is week 4. That means we're going on a month. And I am personally happy about that because one of the things that I always talk about is consistency and just showing up. And that is something that I also have to work on. So by coming on these calls and continuing this, I am being consistent in this area. And it doesn't take a whole lot when we're talking about consistency. And that's what I really try to talk to people about, especially those that I'm coaching. It doesn't take a whole lot. I think sometimes we get overwhelmed before we even start. And I can definitely say that I've been in that boat and I can easily fall into that trap with anything new. So just like real estate that I'm getting into now, there's so much getting thrown at you, and it's very easy to just freeze up. But if we do that, we're not going to get anything done. And this is also something that when I'm mentoring the other coaches that I'm working with, this is something that we talk about as well. It's the same thing with my clients. It's literally, you can use this in every single area of your life. Every 15 minutes counts. Every 5 minutes counts. Every 10 minutes counts. So if that's all you have, use that. And it's okay, because every little bit that you do in that amount of time is going to get you closer to your goals. And I can say that from personal experience because a lot of the time, that's all I have is just a few minutes here and there. So if I can spend those, now I will say you have to be intentional before you start, right? This is what I'm going to work on during this time and be intentional about that. Actually work on that. But yeah, so this is week 4, day 1, and I'm back, and it's a little bit after 5 a.m. and I'm just going to keep these up. This morning I was writing and I wrote a pretty long prayer. So I'm going to start this off by reading this to you. It says, "Dear Lord, I am looking into my unknown future, knowing you oversee it all. For once in my life, I am completely content and very fulfilled to know that I am not in control of everything and that I can keep my energy. You have shown me more and more that all I need to do is surrender it all to you. Lord, I just want to thank you for another day. Thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for providing everything that I need and that my family needs. Thank you for this house we get to call home. Thank you for all the blessings you are showering me with since I didn't completely give up. With that, thank you for not allowing me to go far. I wanted to, Lord. I wanted to lose control of myself. It was easier for me to spin out of control than it was to be collected. Lord, with you, I have regained control of myself. I now know who I am. I am beautifully and wonderfully made through you. I have no reason to doubt myself anymore. I have no reason to run from things that may be hard or people who may be difficult to deal with. I am who I am through you. You have brought me through so much that I can now say that without you, I am nothing. With you, I have the keys to the kingdom. I have no desire to worship anything or anyone other than you. I believe with all my heart that you are driving everything in my life. I believe that you are the center of it all. I believe that you are going to continue to carry me through no matter what comes into my life and tries to take me back off track. I believe that you are the be-all when it comes to our lives. Lord, you have given me more than I ever realized I could have. You knew what you wanted for me. All you needed me to do was obey and listen. Lord, I apologize for my stubbornness, but I thank you for creating me exactly like I am. Thank you for not allowing me to rely on people anymore to help me get further in life. With you, I am sent the right people. Lord, please pull me back when the shiny objects appear that look good on the outside, but are no good on the inside. Help me discern my choices and who I am around. Keep me distant from those who are not walking this life out with you, but allow me to be in their lives just enough to continue helping them from afar. Lord, I ask that you shelter those today who need your shelter. Come into the hearts of those who don't know you. Show them, as you have shown me, who you are and why you are the one we must rely on no matter what. Lord, we need you today. Guard our hearts against evil. Protect us from those who aren't with you. Always keep us close to you. Help us, Lord. I ask these things in your name. Amen. I hope that you said that prayer with me, whether in your head or maybe even out loud. You can go back and listen to it over and over if you want to. But it's definitely something that came from my heart this morning because, if I think back to literally everything that I've gone through in my life, just knowing that he was there the whole entire time and he was bringing me through it all. And even though I was looking at the negative aspect of things, it didn't matter because I was still being brought through. The thing that really gets to us, I think, sometimes is we allow all the little things to pile up until we just give up. And if anything, I just want to come on here and encourage you today not to give up. You are here for a purpose. We are here for a purpose. Do not give up on that. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on your purpose. But be open to being led to it. I think that's the problem a lot of times, especially I can only speak for myself, obviously, but I wasn't willing to be led. I was resistant to my purpose, but yet I wanted to have purpose. But I was resistant to my purpose. It reminded me of when I was in lab tech school. I mean, thinking about that reminds me of that, and how we would test the different antibiotics to see if the bacteria was resistant or susceptible. And I think about, like vancomycin. I remember, different bacteria was resistant to that. And I think about my walk with the Lord and how resistant I've been in my life. And no wonder it's taken me this long to finally see some progress, because I was the problem. I was the problem. No one else around me had any control over what I was doing or where I was going. I wanted to give them control. I was giving people control over where I was going to end up, and no wonder it led me to pure depression. We have to relinquish that. We have to be susceptible. We cannot continue to be resistant if we actually want to get closer to our purpose. We just can't. This morning I was reading out of John chapter 14. If you go to John chapter 14, verses 1 through 3, it says, "Do not let your heart be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me." So this is Jesus talking to his disciples, and he is helping them feel better about everything that's going on. It says, "In my Father's house there are many rooms. If that were not so, I would have told you, because I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I am coming again and will take you to myself, so that where I am." So basically he's letting them know, like, I'm not going anywhere without you. I might not be here, like, in your presence, but I am going to prepare a place. I'm going to bring you with me, but you have to believe. John 14:6 says, Jesus said to him, "I am the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Had I not been willing to get on my knees and just say, Lord, if you're there, please come into my life. If I had not been willing to do that, you would not see this person that you see right now. You definitely would not see this person. And I can say that with 100%, 100,000% faith, because I know that I was destruction at that point. It was pure chaos. I had nothing left. Everything was falling apart. It was unraveling. It didn't matter how much money I invested to try to seek help from experts in the area that were going to save me. They couldn't save me. I had to save me. I had to be willing to save me. It was nothing that no one else could have done. And then I fell off again, and then I blamed myself. How did I let myself get back to this? And I went right back into that rut just last year. And where did that lead me? Depression, chaos, anxiety, pain in my body that I could not get rid of. And it just got worse and worse and worse. Panic attacks. If these are things that you are experiencing, you have to wake up. You have to wake up. Because I've been there and it's not pretty. Be willing to be open to what you can't see. When this says open your eyes and see, it doesn't mean open your natural eyes. It means pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to what you can't see, because those are the things that are important. We always try to make sense of everything, but why? We're not going to make sense of everything. Not everything makes sense. And that's okay. We spend so much time, and this is me, so don't think I'm coming at anyone. We spend so much time analyzing what we can't see that we're never able to step into our true purpose because we're so busy analyzing what could happen. We don't know what could happen. What if something amazing can happen? Why won't we just give it a shot? It doesn't mean we have to quit everything else that we're doing. I meet so much resistance with people every single day, and I see it more now because I've been that person. But what if we were able to drop that resistance just a little bit? How much further could we get in life? Think about it, you guys. In the book of John, Jesus is telling the disciples what is going to come to pass. He predicts the future. He literally tells them what to expect. He does this so that when it does all occur, they will believe. For us, we are simply told to have faith. We aren't always shown everything. We are simply just told to obey and have faith. And for anyone like me with trust issues, that is not an easy task. But what if Jesus appeared to us? What if we could see him with our eyes, with our actual natural eyes? What if we could see him? Would more people believe in him then? People aren't willing to believe because they can't see him. But what if he were to appear right in front of us? What would happen then? We tend to go off of what we see in the natural, but maybe, just maybe, there's a force unseen. And if you don't believe there is a force unseen, step back for a little while and just observe. The force that guides us is the force that we have to be willing to follow. You can call this force God, you can call this force whatever you want, but you have to know that there is a force. There is something pulling us. And the more we resist it, the more miserable we are going to be. If we only go by what we see and what makes sense, we are going to be so limited in life. God wants his children to have abundance, but to have abundance, we must be willing to go off what we can't see. We must be willing to believe what does not make sense. We must be at peace with ourselves and those around us. The only way to get closer to God is through Jesus. And the only way to inherit the kingdom is through faith, obedience, and belief. We have to trust what we cannot see. It's time that we examine our hearts. The only person that is holding you back from everything God has for you is the enemy within. That's you. That was me. I was the only person holding me back. We limit ourselves. We don't need anybody else to do that for us. We do it enough. We let ourselves down. We don't keep commitments to ourselves. We'll show up for everybody else, but we don't want to show up for us. How on earth are we going to be fulfilled in life if we're continuing that? We're not. I'm telling you guys this because I know it all too well. And I don't want to see this I don't want to see that life for anyone else. We have the ability to come into an amazing life where we are fulfilled and we don't need cars or houses or things that we can buy with money. We don't need any of those things. We don't need titles. We don't need to feel significant because people make us significant. We don't need any of that stuff. All we need is what's within. Once we get to that point, that's fulfillment. Work on being there. It's a good place to be, believe me. I feel freer in my life now than I ever have before. And that's because I was willing to be susceptible. All right, you guys. Today is April 25th. And the title for today's reading is More Than Enough. God's Encouragement. And this is actually out of John as well. Imagine that. John chapter 6, verses 5 through 6 says, Jesus soon saw a huge crowd of people coming to look for him. Turning to Philip, he asked, "Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" He was testing Philip, for he already knew what he was going to do. Jesus was sitting on a hill with his disciples when he looked up and saw a large crowd coming. "Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" he asked Philip. A young boy in the crowd had a lunch of 5 rolls and 2 fish. Although the boy's lunch was small, Jesus demonstrated that, offered in faith, it was more than enough. Just like Philip, we sometimes end up in challenging situations that look impossible. What difficult situation are you facing? Are you willing to step out in faith to seek God's limitless resources? I keep saying this, but it's really interesting how every time I open this book, it's something towards what we were talking about. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that life is going to be beautiful, because it's not. Every day is a challenge, every single day. And, I have this planner that I've worked through in the mornings, has the morning mindset, and I write down all these things. And one of the things that, some of the questions that it says, it asks what you can get excited about for today. If one word could describe the kind of person you want to be today, what is that word? For me, I chose obedient, because it's the only way to inherit the kingdom. So I choose words that are going to help me get closer to abundance. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I have no idea what's going to come out of today. All I know is I have to be willing to be led, and I have to be willing to be open to new things. I also have to be open to listening. I have to know when I should be the leader and when I need to be the follower. Once we are able to work through those things and become valuable, no matter what position we're in, great things can start to happen. I no longer desire to be seen and heard. I'm going to be seen and heard no matter what. But I don't have to force it. I don't have to make people listen to me. If you want to listen to me, cool. If you don't, cool. Get to that point, because I'm telling you, it is such a good place to be. I've been through so much crap, and it's so nice to finally be here where I'm not thinking about pleasing everyone and making everyone feel a certain way or hell, making everyone like me. If they like me, cool. If they don't, cool. It's such a good place to be, you guys. I just want everyone to be able to get here because it's freedom. It's weight lifted off your shoulders. There's no more burden. You're not carrying it anymore. And as someone who's an empath, I not only carried my own burdens, but I carried other people's burdens. But now I know how to release those as well. I can feel it for them and I can be emotional for a moment, but then I have to let it go. It's not my burden to carry. It's not your burden to carry. Stop carrying everybody else's burdens because you have enough on your own. Sometimes, or one of the questions, or one of the things it says in here, it says, someone who needs me on my A game today. Every single day. You know what I put there? God. Every day, that's what I put. He just needs me to be led. He needs me to be willing to be to follow him. That's it. He needs me to be open to trusting. He needs me to be open to having more faith. I can't see everything. Not everything is going to be clear, but I can trust the process. Trust the process. I hope you have an amazing Monday. Be grateful that you're here. Be grateful you are alive. Not everyone woke up this morning, but you did, and I did. Keep going. God bless you. Have a great day.